Hi guys, Amy here from Carried Away Amy, and today I'm answering more of your river cruise questions. And what we're going to talk about today is what is it like doing a winter river cruise? Now, river cruises, you usually think about the fall or maybe spring tulips or beautiful summer, but the truth is there's a lot of itineraries that take place during the winter months. For the sake of this video, we'll talk about anywhere from October, November through March, early April. I've done several of them, and today we're going to talk about the benefits and kind of the pros, cons, why you might consider doing a river cruise, why you might not consider doing a winter river cruise, and you can decide for yourself if it's the right move for you. Now, I've done several of them, one of which was a Christmas market river cruise, and one was a New Year's river cruise. I also did one last February on the Danube, so kind of a variety of months during the winter season. And I personally love winter river cruises, but there are pros and cons to it. You've got to decide whether it is the right choice for you. When you're cruising in the summer, it's obviously going to be greener and lots of foliage, very beautiful. You know, that's kind of the peak weather, peak time. But you're also dealing with lots and lots and lots of tourists. And especially on the Rhine, you're dealing with lots of other boats as well. The benefit of cruising in the winter months, especially those February, March cruises, is there's nobody on the rivers. When I was cruising even over New Year's with amawaterways a few weeks ago, we were the only boat. We were the only cruisers on the river. And I will tell you, the plus to that is, one, you're getting through the locks very quickly, so you tend to have more time at each stop than you would during the summer. But also you go to these famous tourist stops and you're the only people there. Last year when I went with my sons to the Danube River, we did last week of February into early March, and we were the only people at Melk Abbey, which if you've ever been there in the summer, it's usually, you know, hour-long waits and thousands of people in a huge tourist spot. We were quite literally the only ones there. So traveling in those winter off months when kids are at school, maybe people are wary about the weather, means you kind of have places to yourself. Now, the downside of that can mean that, you know, stores, shops are closed. I remember some of the stores in town when we went were closed in March, but it's, you know, you get a very local feeling, I'll tell you that. The Christmas market river cruise was probably my favorite. Going to Europe during Christmas is magical. If you're a Christmas person, those Christmas markets are fantastic. Lots of food and wine and just, you know, this jovial atmosphere. It is a truly magical experience. I highly recommend it. You know, you're not going to spend as much time on the roof deck during a winter river cruise as you would in the summer. The temperatures on the ones that I've been on have varied anywhere from 5 degrees Fahrenheit to 55. So you might just need a sweatshirt or you might need a parka. From my experience, it did not, the temperatures never slowed anybody down. We all still went out, we all still shopped, we all still did all the excursions. The only thing that it changed was there were a few days that were too icy for AMA to offer the bike excursions. But most of the time, if people are going in December, they're not going there necessarily for bike excursions. There was one guy last February who wanted to do all the bike excursions, and we were the only boat on the river, and he was the only one who wanted to bike because it was like 45, 50 degrees. So he got basically private bike tours throughout Austria and Germany, down to Hungary on that river cruise with amawaterways. So it was fantastic. From a scenery perspective, I think it's beautiful. If you're someone who likes winter, you enjoy winter, you don't mind cold weather, it's an incredible option, not just because it's not crowded, but, you know, my first winter river cruise, it snowed, and Germany and Austria were covered in this magical blanket of white. It was truly just, you know, that silent, beautiful, magical scenery. There's people right along shore that are cross-country skiing and horseback riding through the snow, and it was just so charming. Whereas, you know, 2 weeks ago when I was in France on a winter river cruise, we didn't have snow, but everybody was still outside and walking, and the sun was shining, and we got to see some really cool things with not a lot of people around. I like having that more local experience as opposed to a very touristy summer experience. Now, I still love my summer river cruises. I will still do them, but it's a very different vibe. You know, there's a lot more tourists around, and you're gonna have a little less time at the ports because you're having to make up for waiting in lines for locks and things. But it's certainly worth considering. One of the hard parts of doing a winter river cruise is the packing, because you're bringing bulkier clothes like this, you're bringing big sweaters, you're bringing a parka and ideally hiking boots. So packing is a little trickier. I had to bring a full-size suitcase this time, which I don't like to do. If you want me to, I'll do a whole video about what you should and shouldn't bring on a winter river cruise, but that's one of the things that's harder, is the packing in a winter river cruise. A pro of the winter time is the flights were a lot cheaper. So pros and cons to take into account, you know, lower crowds, cheaper flights, cheaper cruises. Actually, we got great deals on our winter river cruises, and the Christmas ones was just so magical. Summertime though, you're gonna have, you know, lots of time on the roof deck, beautiful green scenery, nice temperatures, nice weather, but you're gonna deal with more crowds and heat and things like that. So if you have questions about doing a winter river cruise or want any advice, please comment below. I'm super happy to help. I've done lots of them. I really enjoy them. It's a different experience, but I'm happy to help you out. Just comment below, and you can also check out my Instagram and TikTok. I have videos there of my excursions and experiences, and you can actually see some of the things that I've done. So let me know if you have questions, and thanks so much for watching.